He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Wiz, if I ever get one of those laser swords and toss it away, you totally have permission to kill me.
Interesting. Dummy, just let me see your hand.
My hand? Ow!
Okay, now place your finger there.
No? Jeez, Marshall would never make me do something like this.
Marshall? Who's Marshall?
Huh? Oh, the DBX Ringmaster guy. That's his real name. We were roommates in college. He's helping me track down my dad because he's my best bud.
Oh, best bud, huh?
What the hell was that?
Finally, I won't be the only one.
Wait, what just happened? The only downside is these spells do require a lot of magic energy to use, which is also limited to Mickey's own energy. Also, he does need the Keyblade to channel it. There's not much the mouse can do without his Keyblade. Except for be a cute and cuddly mascot.
Well, even if he does lose it, Mickey can immediately summon the Keyblade back to his hand.
Whoa, let me try.
Boomstick, if you really want another beer, just go get one. Oh my god, it works!
No, it was just me.
That little green rascal, a troll to the bitter end. I love it.
The Grand Master Yoda was one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, but the Force was ultimately no match for the light.
Yoda's gotta be one of the best sword fighters Mickey's ever faced, and definitely gave him a run for his money.
These two were certainly a match for each other in many ways, but the King's superior speed, power, and magic meant he had the last laugh. Well, sort of.
Sorry, Yoda, but M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U are dead. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. But when it comes down to it, the government may have been right to worry. Shadow possesses so much power, even he can't always control it.
Chaos powers are crazy. Sonic once used all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds to literally rebuild the Earth.
This is why Shadow wears inhibitor rings, which limit how much chaos energy he can release at once. When he does remove them, what he loses in control is made up for by a massive increase in power, enough to match that of a whole Chaos Emerald. What? What are you looking at?
Is that do you have a ring on your robot arm?
It was a gift?
Cool. Well, good luck with that. All the rings I've given out to people always get sent back eventually. It's way more powerful and uses even more of her blood. What's the deal? Is Senket's a vampire?
Well, a popular theory suggests that it's all a metaphor for puberty. Senket's pulling out Ryuko's blood is symbolic of menstruation, and the skimpier outfits visualize acceptance of sexuality and adulthood, except she's a teenager who already went through puberty?
Wiz, do you have a daughter?
No.
I thought so. Oh, you know, we made fun of how little clothing Ryuko was wearing, but Shadow's been naked the whole time.
Armed with Senkets, her scissor blades, and her life fiber buffs, Ryuko was definitely a match for Shadow, at first.
Yeah, with her awesome strength combined with her insane endurance, Space Form Shadow was in a lot of trouble. But even then, it wasn't a surefire win for the rocket chick.
Ryuko put up an amazing fight, one for the ages, but Shadow's unmatched power and speed proved too much for Our Lady in Black and Red.
Hey, he's pretty beat up about it too. Do you know what he said when he was asked what his favorite anime is?
I like the one with the edgy girl and the scissor blade.
It's canon. No, really.
In clothing, the Edgehog couldn't be overshadowed, and Ryuko's life fiber was snipped. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Much of Lex's tech is relegated to the war suit, but he does have on-hand gadgets too, such as a heat ray, robot replicas called Lexbots, and a special barrier that temporarily turns anything it touches two-dimensional.
It turns you 2D, huh? That sounds like a weeb's wet dream. How does that work?
It's rather simple, actually. By applying higher dimensional physics to a simple 2D grid, we can replicate and place the form of a three-dimensional object into a lower, flattened form that—
Make it stop! Make it stop! Wow, I knew the old squirrel diet was a good idea.
But Doom is more than just a scientist. He's also a magician. In fact, a contender for Sorcerer Supreme. As such, he can employ all manner of magic spells. Barriers, teleportation, mystical energy blasts, etc.
And if he ever wants to Freaky Friday a foe, he can use a mind swap technique he took from the Ovoids to switch bodies.
Like this.
Oh, How do you walk with these scrawny legs? This one isn't even a gun!
Why are there 6 of you? Am I drunk? Dummy! Change us back.
I've heard of handing someone the L, but never pinning him to it.
Having a slight speed advantage and a stronger suit by most measures, Lex was able to hold his own with Doom for a time.
And sure, Lex could counter some of Doom's arsenal, but he couldn't defend against being transmuted to chrome, being blasted with antimatter, or getting his nerves scrambled from the inside.
What's more, Lex's mind has been swapped before, once with Superman, funnily enough.
Time.
Lex's tech was an impressive challenge that had the stats to contend with Doom, but against Doom's bewildering gadgets, magical trickery, and power-stealing siphon, the advantage was in the Doctor's court.
The King of Latveria claimed his victory! Hopefully Lex isn't a sore Luthor. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
And who should show up to the fight but his son Kazuya for the salty runback, all grown up and definitely not dead by Cliff. Oh man, what I wouldn't give to beat the shit out of my dad and toss his ass off a cliff. Probably what Elon Musk's son will do after he finds out what his dad named him. That! Man, he and Heihachi are kinda similar. He launches rockets, he's super rich and weird, and I don't even want to think about Heihachi with a Twitter account.
Well, except for the whole martial arts thing. Musk is just some pasty lazy.
I did Taekwondo, I did karate, Kyokushinkai.
Oh man, he's been Heihachi all along! And that means his son is Kazuya! Someone keep their eye on him in case he throws him off a cliff! But hey, Muskie, if you ever host a King of Iron Tesla tournament, give me a call.
I don't know, I appreciate Geese's tenacity and business acumen. It reminds me of me. Inventing reality-bending weaponry for black markets around the globe has done my checkings account pretty well. Like my Cyber Goose.
Mecha Goose Howard? Oh please, Wiz, I've seen your student loans from Mad Scientist U. It's a sideways 8 next to a smiling turd emoji. I hear they sell self-respect next to the dollar pizza place you like so much. Oh! Better break out the soy sauce for Geese, cause this goose was cooked.
Both fighters had the brutal tenacity and martial arts mastery to push each other to the limit, but Heihachi just had the greater limits to push.
Sorry, Wiz, this one was obvious. One of them throws people off cliffs, the other has people throw him off cliffs. Kind of a no-duh.
It was not a no-duh. In fact, Geese's wider variety of chi techniques were able to keep Heihachi at a distance, and his ability to draw chi from the earth meant he could spam them for as long as he wanted. Geese was a clever, ruthless opponent, but Heihachi's power, experience, and sheer bull-headed stubbornness allowed him to walk away the victor.
Man, this fight was so intense, it almost made me shit my pants. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
It's like running away is her superpower.
In a sense, it is. Blake's aura allows her to manifest a unique ability, or semblance, called Shadow. Born from her desire to escape, Blake can create a brief, intangible clone for deception, evasion, or even to propel herself through the air.
She can even combine them with different kinds of dust, which is basically magic gunpowder. Fire dust clones will explode on impact, while ice will freeze you solid. Though once she runs out of aura, that's it for her semblance too. Wiz? Buddy? Man, I killed him. And it wasn't even on purpose!
Don't worry, just some biological cloning. It's a hobby. Don't ask if I'm the original. I genuinely don't know anymore.
I'll get another clone.
I told her not to get too close to that thunder spear. Too bad she can't hear omniscient narration from beyond the fourth wall.
Despite Mikasa's overwhelming and frankly terrifying tenacity, Blake's varied arsenal and powers gave her a clear edge.
The ODM gear allowed Mikasa to keep up with Gamble Shroud's agility, but in terms of offense, Mikasa was kind of a one-trick pony.
Mikasa had guts, but Blake's speed, versatility, and sick anime combo weapon gave her the edge.
It may have been a gamble, but Blake had the spirit to win without a shadow of a doubt. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Many of these chi powers were learned through the aptly named Book of the Iron Fist, a relic that has been held by every past Iron Fist. It even lets Danny open portals across dimensions back to Kunlun.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but why does he wear ballet slippers? Yellow dance shoes don't exactly strike fear into the enemy, you know?
They're Tai Chi shoes, pretty standard. Anyway, Iron Fist can absorb not just chi, but all manner of naturally occurring power, like electromagnetism.
Yeah! Oh, so that's why he wears the slippers. When he isn't overwhelming you with his pure fatness, Poe can launch a Hadouken with the thundering windhammer, immobilize foes with the paralyzing shoulder touch, and blind you with the Golden Lotus Clap! Oh god, it's like looking into the sun!
But you have to be careful, or you could blind yourself with it.
What? Why wasn't that at the beginning of the instructions? We never saw Poe do this in the movies!
Poe has been in much more than movies, like TV shows, where he picked up a lot of new powers.
Oh, I did not see that coming. I guess Poe got his fill of iron, am I right? You sure the panda winning wasn't some fluke accident, though?
There are no accidents, Boomstick. But due to his credit, Iron Fist's superior speed did help him hold out for a time.
Yeah, Poe could evade lightning, while Danny could move in a microsecond and hang with light timers.
And while Poe was very skilled, his experience didn't quite stack up to Danny's, who has been training all his life.
And that's about where this chubby panda starts taking all the wins.
This sort of implies Poe can move between the mortal realm and the afterlife at will, making it questionable if death by conventional means even matters to him, crazy as it sounds.
And anyway, against Poe's overwhelming toughness, counters, and power, Iron Fist wasn't putting him down in the first place. He just didn't have the stomach to bear it. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Not even Steven's spit could have helped with that attack. Oh, if you haven't heard, his spit can heal people.
His saliva can even give plants, like fruit, humanoid form. Just spitting out seeds from a watermelon has gotten Steven in quite a bind before.
That's not gonna pop up and attack me, is it?
No, Boomstick, regular watermelons don't attack people. But depending on Steven's emotional state, he has varying control over his plant-based life form.
You gonna eat that? Now that's a set of wings! I just wish peering into her eyes wasn't like peering into the 9 layers of hell.
It's obviously a stand-in for puberty. Star compared the process of attaining it to, quote, suddenly looking at boys as if they were made of bacon. Like you've never eaten it in your life, and all you want to eat is bacon.
So what you're saying is if I eat enough bacon, I can get magical powers? Oh, I don't think she won what she thought she won there. Steven definitely had a better sandcastle.
With Steven's strength and healing abilities, Star was definitely between a gem and a hard place initially. And when Steven went pink, made it a whole lot tougher on her.
And since Steven was an alien gem and not technically magic, Star's whispering spell couldn't touch him. But she still had the advantage in the end.
Steven was pushed to the limit and gave it his best, but Star's raw power and her versatile spellcasting were impossible to beat.
Better fly on home, Star. You've had a genuine win. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I can think of a lot of ways that would come in handy.
Well, let's see. Dummy. Dummy.
Ha, got ya.
You know, Link's weapons are very effective against sassy robots.
Ooh, you can't see me coming now, can ya? Ha! Hey, why didn't you get hit?
Right, the magic cape also turns Link intangible.
Huh. Well, guess there's no punch line.
Cloud's own history had affected him so much that he unintentionally took Zack's as his own.
Jeez, sounds like he needs to do some heavy self-reflection.
Cloud struggled with confidence ever since he was rejected from the soldier program. That, combined with the trauma from being kidnapped, experimented on, and watching his best friend die, fractured his sense of self.
You know, Cloud not being who he said he was reminds me of someone, Wiz.
What are you talking about?
You know, like how you faked your identity to avoid paying all those student loans and Homeland Security is still looking for you and...
Hey, did you know, despite how the game works, Cloud can use materia without a weapon? Isn't that neat? Anyway.
Guess Link thought it was time to split. Too soon? Yeah.
Link had an incredibly versatile arsenal available to him, given the abilities he had from his various weapons and masks.
And with stuff like the Sheikah Slate and Ocarina, the guy had so much to throw at Cloud that he could have easily gotten overwhelmed.
The hero of Hyrule put up an admirable fight and could certainly win in a few different ways, but Cloud's speed, strength, and powerful limit breaks meant that, more often than not, his victory was assured.
Link tried force, but against Cloud, he had no way out. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
He even has plans tailored to his teammates' weaknesses should they ever go rogue. He's developed contingencies for everything, which is why Bats comes prepared with extra suits for any occasion.
Like his Nightfall exosuit to battle Bane, or the Justice Buster, which he obviously designed to combat the Justice League. He even got a final Batsuit from his 6th dimensional self that can rewrite your mind.
But my favorite is his stylish zebra suit, which he wore after getting weird Magneto powers. They just made his suit look like this for some reason. There's also the Rainbow Batman suits, the Suit of Sorrows, and of course, the Bat Nipples. Chicks dig the Bat Nipples. All paid for with the Bat credit card. Never leave the cave without it.
But perhaps his greatest suit of armor, the one designed to put him on the same level of insane mind-bending power as his league teammates, is the Hellbat.
Look, Wiz, when you build a space laser strong enough to wipe out alien fleets in one shot, I don't think the Mandarin is going to interrupt your shawarma lunch date.
That space laser is a Dyson sphere, a speculative superstructure that is meant to encircle an entire star and harness its energy. Something only possible by a theoretical Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale.
It's basically when you're galaxy-brained enough to draw power from the entire solar system.
I know it's comics, but the fact that Tony just has one of these lying around is insane. Known as Soul's Hammer, Tony's incomplete sphere is strong enough to destroy a planet at only a 2% charge.
Didn't you work on one of those? I remember you talking about how it'd solve your student loan problems once and for all.
On behalf of the families of several planets that no longer exist, I'm not legally at liberty to discuss that.
Yo! Oh, come on! You know if they fought naked, Batman would have beat the shit out of him.
While Batman is a character defined by his tenacity, preparedness, and utter genius, so is Tony Stark. So neither could rely on that skill set alone to pull them through.
And it shouldn't come as a surprise. Batman's standard Batsuit couldn't quite hold up to the firepower of even the most basic Iron Man armors. The Batsuit is surprisingly tough, sure, but it isn't taking hits from a dude that can punch apart Manhattan.
Batman may have been a god among men, but Iron Man's wealth of gadgets, insanely powerful tech, and greater mechanical experience allowed him to crush the Caped Crusader.
You might think it's an injustice that Batman's gonna need avenging, but Iron Man was in a whole nother league. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came up with the idea. And then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on?
Sure, it's a classic grandfather's paradox. The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another point in time. And another, and another, and another, and another.
Oh god, I hate time travel. But wait, Wiz, that's impossible. Grandpappy paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means
he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Wiz, maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, actually, Thawne was just inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected from it. So, Thawne essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time itself. Whoa! You know we've sent enough people to that sun. We really should have a timeshare.
This was a fairly tricky matchup to figure out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
Black could destroy a universe like ours at least 660 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass, but that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up. At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thon's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not sunderwhelming. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Hey, it's Marshall.
Boomstick Bud, you'll never believe this. I found your dad. Okay, I think your dad's around here somewhere. I got a tip from a guy. He's wearing red.
Wait, his dad or your guy? Ah, who cares? Boomstick doesn't need this.
Oh, yeah! What you need is to snap into a Slim Jim.
Macho Man Randy Savage?
Dad?
What?
That's...
Oh, yeah! Did someone say thirsty?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah!
Jocelyn!
Oh!
I need you to calc this mountain.
On it.
Right. Let's not ask me, the actual living computer.
Done.
Try.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Get him, Dad!
So, did you know?
Come on, Bud. Your dad's got this.
Oh, yeah!
Ah, forget it.
Dad! No!
I ain't your daddy, kid. Blah.
Wait a sec. If he's not your dad, but your dad is here and in red, then that can only mean...
Oh my God.
Huh. That was different.
Wiz, it's terrible! I'm the spawn of sugar and food coloring!
Okay, I found your tip guy.
It's Deadpool! Ah,
What the hell is happening?
Hey, I'm wearing red, just like I promised. You wouldn't have come if you knew it was me, right? After all, I'm only the second most famous Vancouver Deadpool. Damn that himbo.
Okay, where's his dad?
Oh, no idea. But my man Macho knows, so you can just ask.
Oh, yeah! Same time next week. Oh, yeah.
One last time. Where is my father?
Shit! Thought it was them goddamn squirrels! Is that you, Booby?
Mama? I thought Dad was here.
So did I, Junebug. So did I. But I reckon I learned something. You can't worry much about what you hope for, 'cause then you might miss the way things turn out. Like how you got a couple of real good friends here helping you.
I guess you can't always get what you want.
But you just might find what you need.
Thanks, Mama.
Now get off my lawn, boy! Those goddamn squirrels ain't gonna hunt the trails!
Wait a Davy Crockett minute. That voice sounds familiar. Great Zeus's juices! Did I have a son?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. After being struck by a mystical arrow, sure, why not, Dio gained a stand, the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Ow. Hey, look, Wiz, I got a stand. I call it 99 bottles. Korra. Oh, shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your Ooh, look, a giant beer.
While he does possess blood and organs like a regular human, Alucard's body is, in reality, composed of an ethereal, shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound, and each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally injured. Kind of like a video game.
And after 500 years of unlife, Alucard has consumed literally millions of souls. Ora! Yay, more beer!
Just like me.
Ora! Yo! Alucard pulled out all the stops, but like the bloody drink, it was in vain. Finger guns!
He may have been the king of the vampires in Hellsing, but Dio had everything he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings, and Alucard wasn't nearly as strong or as fast to compensate.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got Dio-owned!
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
That's right, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And hey, wait a minute, that was a pun. That's my territory. We talked about this. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. With all this power, Akuma is among the toughest street fighters out there.
Which says a lot when Kahn could loop himself up with enough oil to, get this, launch E Honda into orbit to headbutt a giant meteor into smithereens. Well, there's only one way to figure out the TNT of that. I've got the oil, Wiz. Get ready to launch.
Oh, that's okay. I've already done the math. It's over 500 trillion tons.
Oh, can we still do it, though?
Fine.
Well, you know you're a big shot when actual gods think you're a pain. Look at him go!
Don't mistake powerful with invincible. Kahn's might is only matched by his arrogance.
Yeah, he really does love to hear himself talk, even when it leaves him totally open. I guess he doesn't consider the consequences of his constant taunting.
Is that your best?
I thought it was funny.
You suck.
Moving on.
Oh, now that's what I call a fatality!
With the power of the Satsui no Hado, Akuma was a unique challenge for Shao Kahn.
Yeah, like how he resisted Nakali suggests Kahn couldn't have just yanked his soul away so easy.
And Akuma's level of power was nothing to scoff at either. Shao Kahn's overwhelming power, mystical abilities, and treacherous strategies were enough to claim this victory.
Outworld's Emperor was the only one who could surpass Akuma. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Every time the Avatar dies and reincarnates, Rava searches out their spirit to bond with their new body, a staple of Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. I've done a lot of research into reincarnation, which I'll demonstrate today with Boomstick and this anvil.
Wait, what?
Now, the Avatar is usually reborn into a different nation, but I've set this up so Boomstick will reincarnate into the nearest vessel, this identical clone body.
Hey, Wiz, I feel funny.
Why are there two of me?
Where'd my banana go?
Cut off his leg and everything. Essentially, anything even remotely considered weather.
Man, I wish I had crazy writers giving me random superpowers just because it's funny. That'd be awesome. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go use my rocket hands I've always had to get my beer out the fridge. Away!
Oh.
Oh, Whoa! I think I just queen shit myself! This fight wasn't totally straightforward. Korra can dominate most fighters pretty easy with her raw bending power and martial arts skills, especially with the Avatar state. Not even some of the best benders on the planet like Zahir and Kuvira could stand up to her at her best.
However, despite Korra's awesome Avatar powers, she found herself outmatched by Storm's skill, precision, and overwhelming force. Korra was a tenacious, unrelenting opponent, but Storm's massive range, precise control, deadly skill, and unbelievable power won her this fight.
Don't get bent out of shape. Korra just couldn't weather the storm. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Alright, this is gonna get pretty crazy, but just bear with me. Fearing a defeat in battle, Madara set a time-delayed jutsu that would posthumously rewrite reality and bring him back to life. And it worked! So Madara tricked another Uchiha, Obito, into witnessing his best friend murdering his other best friend. Then he tasked Obito with manipulating the world into another war. Meanwhile, he gave his own Rinnegan to Nagato with the goal of getting it back after he was brought back to life the second time with the outer path because he died again. Make sense?
Nah, that'll never work.
You're right, it didn't! So Obito went out and got the Rinnegan back from Nagato's corpse, because he died. Then Kabuto brought Madara back to life, and he got his eyes back from Obito after some backstabbing. Then he sealed the awakened Ten Tails within himself in order to gain ultimate power and create the world's greatest nap time ever!
Look what you people have done to him. Somehow he ended up getting even stronger than before. But what made him so strong? Could it be the chair?
It's not the chair. It could theoretically be due to the chair's restraints keeping his Reiatsu from properly releasing, building it up within him until he was stronger in base than he was at his previous max.
Nah, it's definitely the chair. And, since the chair could still hold him after he got stronger, wouldn't that make it even stronger than him? Even stronger than the Soul King? All hail the mighty Chair-sama, most powerful being in all of Bleach. Yo! Of course Madara won! He fake died twice for his 5D chess plan, while Aizen only fake died once.
Aizen and Madara were extremely evenly matched in raw power and speed. By our calculations, Madara spreading the God Tree's roots with his chakra was about 7 times more powerful than the best that Aizen could scale to with his rare Yoku. And both ended up being roughly as fast as each other.
While there are a range of possible feats and numbers to go with to determine their limits, the point is they're always going to be close to even.
Aizen was an unbelievably overpowered foe, but Madara's own powers, illusions, and devastating truth-seeking orbs allowed him to crush the ex-Shinigami.
Sosuke should have kept his eyes on the prize. And
do you feel any shame at all?
Moderately. Ha! Double pun. Suck it, Wiz. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
After a few days, he shouldn't even been able to move, but he just kept going.
There might be an explanation. Take the brilliant scientist Dr. Genus, whose half-century of research into evolution Saitama erased in, well, one punch. According to Genus's hypothesis, Saitama's training broke his limiter.
Basically, every living thing on Earth has a limit to their natural abilities. At some point, no matter how badass they are, they'll plateau. Wait a minute. Have I peaked? I gotta go to the gym! It lets him fly, turn invisible, shapeshift his body into literally anything, and even survive the universe getting turned off. That's right, this big whatever the hell that thing is apparently God, and he turned off reality in order to kill Popeye and his friends. 'Cause why not? Except guess what? Popeye was fine. Why? Because he eats his spinach.
I wonder what its nutritional content is like. Let's find out with math.
No! Well, I guess you could say that fight was over easy. Wait, except isn't Saitama's whole gag that he can't lose?
It is, but it's more nuanced than that. Despite breaking his limiter, Saitama's strength isn't limitless. He's said so himself.
Breaking his limiter meant his potential strength was likely infinite, but there's nothing left in his world powerful enough to push him to get stronger, like a bodybuilder stuck with 5-pound dumbbells.
He also doesn't possess some magical ability to kill someone in one punch regardless of effort. Powerful adversaries like Boros and Garo have survived his blows repeatedly, albeit briefly, and he's never met anyone quite like Popeye the Sailor Man.
And on the flip side, there was nothing stopping Popeye from just turning Saitama into a bunch of eggs. which he can do without spinach. So even if Popeye was weaker, he'd still have a way to finish the job in one punch.
Saitama was easily one of the strongest combatants we've ever seen, but pure strength was no match for Popeye's insane power, survivability, and plain old cartoon shenanigans.
If you thought nothing could match the One Punch Man, now you know Popeye's Spinach Can.